nature's resources. First, walk among the oldest living things on Earth and learn how people and animals rely on trees. Then, discover why it is so important to take care of our forests in planting and harvesting trees. Finally, join the Shikda family in Bangladesh as they harvest rice and prepare to sell it at the market. Segment 1. From Trees.
I am a bristlecone pine, the oldest known living thing on Earth. Some of my relatives live to be 4,000 years old. Our circles show our age. Trees are works of art in nature. They are strong, beautiful, magnificent to be around, comfortable to live in. The giant sequoias are the tallest things alive. They are the largest too. And they live almost as long as I do, between 2,000 to 3,000 years. That's still a very long time. Trees are an important member of our Earth's natural family. From where it stands, a tree can watch babies become children, who grow up and become parents, and then grandparents. And as it watches, it provides shade and shelter. And that's only the beginning. In some parts of the world, trees are worshipped and respected. The Sonoran Desert extends from California and Arizona in North America down into northwestern Mexico. The Tona O'odham Nation lives in the desert saguaro forest, a forest of cacti. Storyteller Denny Lopez tells the legend of a mother who left her child in the desert. Where the child's tears fell on the desert floor, the cactus became a tree, the giant saguaro cactus. Everywhere, trees are an important source of food. Monkeys, elephants, and giraffes eat their leaves. Nectar from their flowers feeds birds and insects. And both animals and people eat their fruit. Oranges, apples, and dates are some of the different fruits that trees give us. Even the bark of a tree is important. For centuries, the bark of some trees has been used to make medicine. Aspirin and quinine come from tree bark. While a tree may appear to just stand there, it is actually doing quite a bit. A tree stretches up and out with its branches, and down with its roots underground. The roots create spaces in the dirt so that the dirt acts like a sponge. It soaks up rainwater, then stores it. The roots hold the soil in place so it doesn't wash away. Fallen leaves and dead trees decay, adding good things like nitrogen to the dirt beneath them. The dirt helps new living things grow. and the process starts all over again, budding, blooming, living, dying. Of course, trees provide wood for burning and for building, and for making useful and beautiful objects. In the West African country of Gabon, skilled wood carvers create pieces of art with a chisel instead of a paintbrush. A songbird in a tree in one country makes one kind of music, and a craftsman in another country will make a different type of music using wood from a spruce tree to make a violin. This wood must age a long time before it can be used. It must be strong, flexible, and lightweight. These same qualities are needed by other craftsmen around the world, people who design and build boats. In Indonesia, traditional boats are handmade. Boats are also built by hand in the United States. Each person works on a different part of the boat. As a craftsman works, he develops a relationship with the wood. Wood has different qualities. He knows what kind of wood to use and how to shape it. And so, we, the trees of the world, are connected to you there in your country, and you in turn are connected to others. Your country and customs and wants may be different, but all of you need us. Think of all the gifts that we trees give you. Our wood, flowers, our fruit. We trees need you too, to know us, to value us, and to honor our place on earth as we do yours.
Write a poem of 8 lines or more describing your thoughts about trees. Describe your feelings and ideas. Remember, a poem does not have to rhyme. Segment 2. Planting and harvesting trees.
They once covered large areas of the earth. Today, almost half of them have disappeared. They are filled with generations of life. Yet all can be lost in a moment. They are the world's original forests, and as mighty as they are in danger of vanishing. A forest is more than a large group of trees. Forests are communities, neighborhoods that are home to many different kinds of animals, plants, birds, and insects. Even though you may not live close to forests, you are held by them. That's because forests create the fresh air you breathe. Energized by the sun, trees convert air, water, and nutrients into living matter. As part of this process, trees release oxygen into the earth. Humans breathe in this oxygen and breathe out the carbon dioxide which trees need to grow. It's a perfect partnership. Unfortunately, the world is quickly losing its great forests. More than 2/3 of the world's remaining original forests are found in 3 countries: Russia, Canada, and Brazil. Africa's largest area of original forest is found in Central Africa. The loss of trees affects the soil where the trees used to live. It becomes dry, hard, and cracked. And because we are all connected in nature's family, when we lose trees, we also lose many plants and animals forever. They become extinct. Only a memory. Forests are an important resource, but when they are cut down or destroyed, with no plans for replacing them, problems occur. Because trees are an important part of the Earth's cycle of life. They keep the land healthy, the air clean, and people and animals provided for. The biggest problem is how people can use the trees they need, yet keep the forests from disappearing. The answer is to grow new forests to provide the wood we need. Then we can leave the old forests alone. A crop of new trees will take 40 to 80 years to grow. On the northwest coast of North America, some lumber companies harvest and grow trees. Before a single tree is cut, the company makes a plan. The plan shows how many trees will be cut down and how much equipment is needed to haul them away. Since trees provide a home to many creatures, the plan must also consider what will happen to those other living things. How will they live with the noise from the lumber companies? How will they live once the trees are gone? Most lumber companies carefully do their jobs with as little upset as possible to the forest creatures. Of course, planting new trees to grow in place of the ones cut down is a big part of the plan. Some trees, like these, need lots of light to grow. For this reason, all the trees in one section are cut down as part of the plan. When new trees are planted, they will have a lot of sunshine. Trees harvested in this way create a pattern on the mountain. Treeless areas are next to areas full of trees. Some new plants are started from seeds blown from the tree still standing. But the logging companies also plant seeds and young trees. Then the long process of growing a forest begins. One person cannot build a forest alone, but one pair of hands can plant a tree. By planning together, we can make sure original forests and new ones are part of our world forever.
Break into small groups of 3 to 4 students. Each group should make a list of the things they use that are made of wood. Include objects that are used at home and objects that are used in the classroom. Share your ideas with the whole class. Segment 3. Rice Harvest.
This is the village of Bahadurpur in the country of Bangladesh. Bangladesh is one of the world's poorest countries. The Sheikh Dar family lives in Bahadurpur. Mansoor lives here with her brothers. Her mother and her father and grandparents. Mansoor's grandfather, Sheikh Dar, is a rice farmer. A great deal of knowledge and skill is required to produce a successful rice harvest. Planting and harvesting is a way of life and a lot of hard work. Rice is a crop that needs special conditions to grow. Those conditions are all found in Bangladesh. It is a flat land. It has lots of water. The weather is warm. Bangladesh is on the Bay of Bengal and is mostly surrounded by the country of India. Two great rivers flow from the Himalaya mountains into Bangladesh. They bring rich soil that makes the land fertile, good for growing crops. Sheikh Dar owns land in this village and grows rice to support his family. Sheikh Dar is the head of the family, and his grandchildren and neighbors call him Nana, which means grandfather in Bangla. Sheikh Dar's wife, Benessa, is called Nani, which means grandmother. In the morning, Monso and her brother Babul go to school. They study many subjects, such as English, the second language of Bangladesh. They learn to read and write in their language called Bangla. In the afternoon, the children help out at home. Monson helps her mother and grandmother prepare the food for dinner. Babul helps his grandfather, Nana, weigh the rice. The rice will be sold in the market. Nana has been a farmer all his life, always planting, harvesting, and selling rice. Babul's father is not a farmer. He is a merchant. He buys jackfruit from nearby orchards. Then he sells the fruit in the market. Most of the women have not had the chance to go to school. They marry when they are young. Then they live with their husband's family. All the women of the household work together. Their religion, Islam, requires them to always wear clothing that covers their entire body. Nani and Monso's mother make their meals in the courtyard. They cook a big meal because they must feed many people, their family, and the people they have hired to help in the fields. They make 3 meals a day. The main meal is rice, vegetables, and meat cooked with spices. The women draw the water they will use for cooking from a nearby well. They cook on a stove that is made from mud and built into the courtyard. There is lots of mud in Bangladesh because there is lots of rain. The rainy season lasts for 4 or 5 months. It is called the monsoon. The women of the village spend the dry season getting ready for it. They collect and store fuel, twigs, straw, leaves, anything that burns. Cow dung is plastered onto sticks and placed in the sun to dry. The sticks are easy to store for the rainy season, and they burn with a hot, steady heat. Most houses in the village are built out of mud. The long monsoon rains wear them down. The hot sun of the dry season cracks them, so they often need to be repaired. When the heavy rain of the monsoon begins, there is more work. The wet earth is plowed to make it ready for planting. A few days before planting, the rice seeds are put in water to germinate. When they sprout, they are planted. Nana hires men from another village to help with the work. The rice seedlings are bundled and rolled together so they can be carried easily. They are taken to a newly plowed field. Now the seedlings are planted in straight, even rows. This makes it easier to weed between the rice plants. Weeds take away the soil's nutrients, so less goes to the rice plants. That's why the rice fields must be weeded several times during the growing period. In 4 or 5 months, the rice is ready to harvest. The rice stalks are cut. Carts carry bundles of stalks to the courtyard. But there is much more work to be done. The women and children spend long hours preparing the rice for market. The rice must be processed very quickly or it will spoil. All the work in the fields will be wasted, and there will be no money for the families to buy what they need. Threshing separates the rice grain from the rest of the plant. The cooler is used for cleaning and winnowing, separating the good parts of the rice from the rest of the grain. The hapata spreads the rice for drying. Parboiling. Boiling the rice for a short time keeps more of the nutrients in the grain and makes husking easier. The deki is the traditional tool for husking rice. In other places, mills are used. They are much faster. Nana brings the rice to sell in the market. Only men go to market, where they sell, trade, and buy supplies for the family, such as soap, cooking pots, and cloth. For the Shigda family, work never ends. They live in a country that has very few machines and modern conveniences. Many things must be done by hand. And so they help each other and enjoy each other too. In that way, they are like people everywhere. When the chores are done, Monso plays house with a friend. They have made a courtyard like Nani's. Monso and Babul do not have many toys, so they play with what they have and make up their own games. They will grow up in this village and may live here forever. And like their parents and grandparents before them, many of the children in Bahadapur will grow up to carry on the tradition of the rice harvest.
Write a composition comparing the life of the Shigda family in Bangladesh with your life. What are the similarities? What are the differences?